Welcome back to Our Issues Milwaukee. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. This morning, we've been discussing women-owned businesses as we approach Women's Entrepreneurship Day on Thursday, November 19th. I'm happy to be joined by Marit Harm Spransy. She's the Director of Membership and Programs for Tempo Milwaukee. We're also being joined by Kathleen Dohearty. She's the President of Branding and Communications, and Kareeda Chones Aguam, who is the Vice President of Business Strategy and Management for the Milwaukee Bucks and Fiserv Forum. And they both serve as Tempo Leadership Event co-chairs. How are you, ladies?
Great. Thanks for having us.
Wow. Yeah,
Thanks.
thank you.
I'm doing very well, and I thank you all for joining us today. If I'm correct, Tempo Milwaukee's been around for about 45 years now, so I'd be happy for you all to tell us more about the organization and its mission.
I'll start here as the resident Tempo staff member on the call. So you're correct. We are celebrating 45 years. In 2020, Tempo was founded in 1975 by 4 women in the Milwaukee business community, really because they were looking for a space to talk about the issues they were facing as professional women in the workforce, just to have that space to share ideas, talk about challenges, talk about being working mothers. And here we are, fast forward 2020, we have over 400 members in Tempo Milwaukee, and then another program for mid-career women called Emerging Women Leaders. And we have 280 members in that program. So it just proves how necessary it is to have the space for women. Although we face different challenges now in 2020, it's still so needed.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. And because you all are very successful business women, I'd love for you to kind of give us an idea of what it is that you do in your everyday lives.
I guess I can start. I just to piggyback off of what Marit said, I mean, I think that I'm president of a smaller organization, so we're about 24 people. And so I think what Tempo gives me is, I get a lot of support in my day-to-day work life, but it also gives me an outlet to professional women that I wouldn't normally come in contact with. And I'm able to have a sounding board and, build great relationships from a business standpoint, but also great friendships. So for me personally, on a day-to-day basis, we're all living in this virtual world, and business doesn't stop. So for us, we're managing clients, managing client relationships, managing their communications, and people need communications in a way that they haven't before, which is interesting for our business. But really, Tempo, doesn't matter what industry you're in, Tempo really supports you and gives you an outlet to really grow as a professional and meet other people.
Yeah, I really echo what both the ladies say. I mean, in my role with the Bucks, which is a male, a lot of male industry, the Milwaukee Bucks and Fiserv Forum, there's not a whole lot of women that are in vice president roles throughout the NBA. I mean, it's a growing field for sure, but to have a professional women's group, to Kathleen's point, that's there to kind of bounce ideas off of, network, and really just to have support because they're going through the same sort of things at different levels, be it with leading a team, managing a huge client base, being responsible for tens of millions of dollars and trying to keep it all together and then run a home life as well. That's tough. And when you're at this level, a lot of times it's hard to have someone else there to kind of have your back. And I really feel that this is a group of women of all different backgrounds and ethnicities. And I love that, but we're all going through something so similar and we're there to support one another. That's the main reason why I'm a member of this organization.
Yep.
And Marit, did you want to add anything to that based off of you being in charge of membership? How would someone watching actually become a member of Tempo Milwaukee?
Sure. So we have a set of membership criteria. We're really looking for Tempo for a woman who has had at least 5 years in an executive or senior role. So someone like Kathleen or Kareeda, but doesn't matter what industry or function you have. So really looking for women who are at the pinnacle of their career, making the decisions, handling the budgeting, as Kareeda mentioned, and also someone who's involved in the community. Now, for emerging women leaders, this program started 5 years ago because really we were getting such amazing women nominated for Tempo, but sometimes they didn't have that 5 years of executive experience yet. So Emerging Women Leaders was created more for the mid-career woman, not entry level, not right out of college, but someone who has managerial experience, who's an up-and-comer within her organization. And the hope is that someday, one day, if they so choose, they will move on to Tempo as that senior leader.
Good stuff. And one thing that statistics show us is that when women make a decision to, start their own business and become entrepreneurs, one of the main reasons is because of that darn glass ceiling that we're always hearing is so hard to crack or break. And so, with that being said, Tempo Milwaukee is supporting women with the mindset to create their own business, right?
Yeah, I'd say many of our members and emerging women leaders have what we call side hustles, kind of a buzzword lately. Some of them have those at the same time as what you would call a more traditional job. We've seen women leave their more traditional job completely to go into their side hustle full time. So it's definitely something that our members are thinking about. And I think we're seeing that more because it's promoted and people feel comfortable and empowered and confident that they can do those things and succeed.
Yeah. So, are there any other things that come to mind, being women in business and even being surrounded with women who own their own business that really are concerns or issues for women in general?
I would say more than anything is a lot of times it's not just the glass ceiling, but it's women not helping and empowering each other. That's
Mm.
kind of the issue I see, more so kind of in business that since I've been in what I'm doing. I mean, it's starting your own business is great, being in leadership roles, but a lot of times the reason that we're in these positions where we can't continue to excel is because of other women not being there to support one another.
Yeah.
So that's, it's really great. We see that in Tempo. I have a side hustle as well. So if I'm able to tell some folks about my side hustle, they can help me and vice versa. And it's always about supporting and amplifying what someone else is doing and not necessarily bringing down or being catty as women could be. So I think that's really something that I think a lot of the women that we have in the organization that might have started their own business, it's a way to, like, you're on your own boss. You don't have to worry about anybody else necessarily not being there and pulling for you. So that's an important piece to me.
Yeah, you make a great point with that. So, coming up on Thursday, November 19th, Tempo Milwaukee's hosting its 15th annual virtual leadership event, Equality and Empowerment. So, this is a great time for you ladies to fill us in on what's going to be held virtually this year.
This is I mean, these times are just a platform to, I am going to say the buzzwords, innovate, be creative, and when we all got together as co-chairs and as a Tempo team, I was like, okay, this isn't going to stop us. Let's still knock this out of the park for all of the Tempo and EWL members and all the women watching. And so, so what you're going to see next Thursday is just a really high quality, TV level production that, I think is really going to deliver on every level, just as if it's a live event. I really do. I mean, it's incredible what this team has been able to pull off, and I'm so proud to be a part of it.
Well, I'm thinking that's what happens when you bring together a bunch of successful women who really excel on so many different levels. You're going to come out with something amazing, and that's what it's really all about. So, your special guest this year is Gabrielle Union. So, Kareeda, tell us a little bit more about why you chose Gabrielle to be your special guest this time.
Yeah, like Kathleen said, we were really wanted to focus on how do we differentiate ourselves because everybody's doing virtual, everyone's having galas virtually and events. How do we make ourselves stand apart, but also make sure we're aware of the times and what's going on right now? So when we
Right.
kind of had our list of who we wanted to bring in as our speaker, Gabrielle was like at the top of the list. I mean, she's an amazing actress, and that's great. but like we wanted to get to kind of like the meat and potatoes of who Gabrielle is. So her activism, being an author, an entrepreneur, like she's hitting home on so many different areas that were really going to resonate with our members. So that's why we selected her, and she agreed and accepted. So we're excited to have the opportunity to meet her and talk with her next week. So that's the main reason. You know, she's definitely a trailblazer in what she's done beyond just the Hollywood life. But that's going to resonate with people and women, all of us, you know, throughout the state, throughout the country. I mean, we got people coming from everywhere. So
Yeah, and I think it's amazing too. Just to piggyback on what you said, she fights for women's health, equity in the workplace, ending violence against women. She's a spokesperson for a number of national brands. I believe did she have a clothing line with the Limited?
yep,
And
she did
then
that, yeah.
she has a hair care line. I mean, there's so much that she brings to the table. And not only that, she's a mom who is married to this well-known man. I think we all know Dwayne Wade. So, I
Right.
mean, there's
He has
so
a
much
special
that
place in our heart.
Right,
place
right.
in your heart, especially that former Marquette basketball
That's
player,
right.
right, Kareeda?
That's
So
right.
I just think that she's been able to balance so many things on so many different levels, and even the things that she's gone public with in dealing with her daughter being transgender, just so much to talk about and so much to inspire and motivate other women with across the board. So how in fact does someone get registered and get their seat at the table, so to speak?
We encourage anyone interested to visit tempomilwaukee.org and get your ticket because it is virtual. You know, we're making lemonade out of lemons. There's no capacity issue. All are welcome. You don't even need to live in Milwaukee. So visit tempomilwaukee.org, join the 1,500 others already registered for the event, and it will be a great evening.
All righty. And so is there anything else that you ladies would like to share as we wrap up this segment?
I would just say, you know, thank you so much for having us. I think this is an amazing platform, Andrea, that you have just to be able to talk about what's going on in our community, how we continue to be there for one another and empower each other. And I think the Entrepreneur Month, all that you're doing is just spectacular because it takes outlets very much like yours to have other people see people that look just like them, but can really kind of take that next step in their career and their lives. So I just think it's all positive. I just want to, you know, thank you for sure for having us. This is awesome.
Well, I thank you all for being here, and I thank you for taking the time to put together such an event that is going to motivate and inspire so many women on so many different levels. All the best to you ladies and all that you do.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
Thank you.
Really
Take care.
appreciate it.
Marit Harm Spransy, she is the Director of Membership and Programs for Tempo Milwaukee. Then you have Kathleen Dohearty, she's the President of Brannigan Communications, and Kareeda Chones Aguam, she is the Vice President of Business Strategy and Management for the Milwaukee Bucks and Fiserv Forum. They all are with Tempo Milwaukee. And for more information on anything that we've discussed today, you can visit their website at tempomilwaukee.org. That's going to do it for today's show. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. As always, I thank you for watching, and I do hope you join us again next week as we take another look at our issues, Milwaukee. Have a great day.